steam engine. A steam engine is a heat engine that performs mechanical work using steam as its working fluid. Using boiling water to produce mechanical motion goes back around 2000 years, but early devices were not practical. The Spanish inventor Jerónimo de Ayllans patented in 1606 the first steam engine. In 1679, Thomas Savery developed a steam pump that used steam in direct contact with the water being pumped. Savery's steam pump used condensing steam to create a vacuum and draw water into a chamber, and then applied pressurizing steam to further pump the water. The first commercial true steam engine using a piston was developed by Thomas Newcomb and was used in 1712 for pumping a mine. Something extremely important for the steam machine is the heat source. The heat required to boiling the water and supplying the steam can be derived from various sources, most commonly from burning combustible materials with an appropriate supply of air in a closed space. In some cases, the heat source is a nuclear reactor or energy. Also, for the steam engine, we need to calculate the efficiency. The efficiency of an engine can be calculated by dividing the energy output of mechanical work that the engine produces by the energy input to the engine by the burned fuel. The historical measure of a steam engine's efficiency was its duty. The concept of duty was first introduced by Watt in order to illustrate how much more efficient his engines were over the early Newcomb's design. Duty is the number of foot-pounds of work delivered by burning 1 bushel of coal. The best example of Newcomb design had a duty of about 7 million, but most were closer to 5 million. Watt's original low-pressure designs were able to deliver duty as high as 25 million, but average about 17. This was a threefold improvement over the average Newcomb design. Early Watt engines equipped with high-pressure steam improved this to 65 million.
Inside a steam engine, steam is produced by boiling water. The pressure of the expanding steam is used to push a piston to and fro in a hollow tube called a cylinder. The piston fits tightly inside the cylinder. The piston is attached to the piston rod. As the piston rod goes in and out, it drives another rod called the driving rod. The driving rod turns a wheel called the flywheel, which turns steadily even when the piston is at the end of its stroke and is not pushing.
Well, I'm going to talk about the construction of our steamboat. Some steamboats have usually been made out of steel plate. The hull of the boat may be made out of any material that floats. Homemade steamboats are often made out of wood. That's why we decided to use that material. The boat engines consist of a boiler and one or more exhaust tubes. While a single exhaust tube may be used, 2 exhaust tubes are much more commonly used. This is because the boiler and the exhaust tubes have to be filled with water, and using 2 tubes allows water to be injected into one tube while air inside the engine escapes through the other. It is more difficult to remove the air and completely fill single exhaust tube types. The boiler and exhaust tubes are usually made out of metal, copper, or common metal. Well, the boiler design is different because simple metal containers in the shape of a box or cylinder are common. A more efficient boiler can be made by using a metal pan whose top is a slightly concave diaphragm made out of a very thin and springly metal. Many steamboats have used a single tube of metal, which is formed into a coil in its center and left straight on both ends to form the exhaust. The coil in this version functions as the boiler. Some elements that we are going to use for heating is candles or small oil burners and other kind of heating elements.
Aí está a panela de pressão para os feijões a cozer. Olha. Acham? E vou tornar aqui a tua vez é em V, né? É um motor em V. Faz tudo isso, é? Não, dois em V, 90 graus. Tem alguma vantagem em relação ao deste? Não, é outro género. Mas a manda uma batata nesse caso, porque os cilindros são oscilam. Este aqui é fixo. É visto um motor género pilão. Portanto, é um motor. Pronto, só tem o. Como é que se chama? As bielas que articulam, o outro não articula, anda tudo. Isto é fixo.